Something interesting that I found in this play, Intimate Apparel, was the fact that Esther was able to do a lot more with sewing than just use it as her career. She used it as a way to create a lot of different relationships with customers and with Mr. Marks and with her husband, but she also used it to find intimacy in a lot of different ways between a lot of different characters. A very noticeable theme that you see in this play was the racism and the prejudice views that a lot of different characters had on one another. It is kind of interesting to see that Esther was a black woman and she sewed for a lot of different types of clients, including white women and prostitutes. And you kind of see her as kind of the middle ground. She wasn't a prostitute, but she also wasn't treated like the white women. And you see the sort of prejudice in the fact that Esther cannot be with Mr. Marks because of his religion. It is in a time period where a lot of common beliefs and the way people look all stuck together. You also see a role of feminism in this play, as Esther comes from a boarding house of all women. She focuses more on her sewing career and gets a lot of clients and brings in a lot of cash more than she does focus on her relationships like the other women do. She shows the other women that they can follow their dreams just like she did. Something that I didn't really understand or notice was the fact that Esther never was a seamstress to any males. I'm wondering, was this not allowed in the time, or did she just prefer to do it with? I think that this play definitely reinforces African American stereotypes. You see the black woman, especially Esther, not having as well of a chance as other whites. You see the struggles of them being born just a different skin color and how they're already different from the whites and how the opportunities are just not there. You see how they have to overcome this, and it's definitely brutal in this play, but it's also very eye-opening and you learn a lot from it. I think stereotypes of African Americans are still prevalent today. I think it is something that is learned, so maybe people are learning it from an older generation when racism was a lot more prevalent than it was today. I think that our generation, though, is becoming a lot better with the stereotypes as we're making movements and we are putting more attention onto it with social media, and we are learning it more through schools that the color of your skin does not make a difference of who you are as a person. Some questions that I had about this play was, do you think Esther is really wanting a romantic relationship and intimacy among another partner, or do you think she is just missing any sort of healthy relationship in her life? You don't hear about any sort of family, and you know she's growing up in a boarding school. Also, do you think Esther and Mr. Marks should be together despite his religion?